Hey Counter Slammers, it's Eric coming at you with another model review. I'm scooting in here a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at some models that were released very recently and kind of compare with some of the models that have been out for quite some time, which are the Grotesques. Now the Grotesques are not a unit that we really reviewed that I can think of in the Legion reviews. Because at the time they just weren't very viable. They were considered to be one of the weakest units in the game, probably right next to the Cephalix models. But we'll take a look at them anyway and see what it is that they have to offer now that they've got some support pieces to make them a little bit better. So first let's take a look at the Grotesque Raiders. They are, for a minimum unit, they are 4 points, and for a maximum unit, they are 6 points, which makes them very affordable. They are FA2, and they have Speed 5, Strength 7, Mat 5, Rat 4, Defense and Armor both 13. Their command range is 6, and they are fearless. They also have 1 attack, which is with their claws. It's just 1 attack, though, not 2, even though they have 2 claws. And it's a power strength of 10. So with the Raiders, they are, of course, they have flight, so they can go over models and obstructions. And they have gang, so when they are in melee with a model that is engaging, when 2 of them are engaging the same model, they basically get +2 to hit and +2 to damage, which makes it really good. So it makes their power strength 10 and their mat 7, so not bad overall. They are kind of a fun unit to play. They're impressive looking on the field when you've got a bunch of winged units on the table. The only thing bad is because they're command 6, they have to be within 6 inches of their leader, which means they got to be really bunched up together, which can actually be difficult with their wings. And on top of that, if someone places a really good, large AoE, they're going to take out several models, and there's really not much you can do about it. So it's probably one reason why most people didn't take them. They don't have advanced deploy. They're actually slower than most of the units that we have in Legion, even though they have flight. So you can kind of see why a lot of people didn't play them. So setting them to the side for the minute, let's take a look at their new cousins that just came out, which are the Grotesque Banshees. So Grotesque Banshees, they have similar stats. They are again Strength 7, Mat 5, Rat 5. They have Rat 5, so it's 1 higher defense or higher Rat, but you'll see why that comes to play in a second. Both again Defense and Armor both 13. Command is still 6. They are fearless. They also have Gunfighter. Now they only have 1 attack, which is a 6-inch spray, and it's a ranged attack. With Gunfighter is nice because you can charge someone and then do the spray once you're in melee with them. And it is a POW 12, rate of fire 1. Their point costs are 5 and 8, and for 8 for a full unit, FA2 as well. I sort of wish that with an 8-point unit they would have given them the ability to do the claws and to do the spray. Would have been nice, or to give them gang as well, which could really help these guys benefit from using their sprays. But they also have flight, of course, with the wings. They have Force Barrier, which is really nice. Gives them +2 defense against ranged attacks, and they don't suffer blast damage, which can really help these guys survive the field. And they have their spray has an ability called Silencer, which models that are hit cannot cast spells for 1 round. So if you actually hit your own stuff that cast spells, then that will affect them as well. So it is friendly and non-friendly. So don't want to get that confused. So they, again, of course, have to be bunched together, much like their Raider counterparts. Again, so they have to be close together, which can really stink. Now, Force Barrier gives them the ability to become defense 15 against ranged all the way up the field, which is nice, up until they get in your face, and they, of course, become 13s again. But they are... I have to say the plastic kits for the Grotesques are really nice. If you're looking at getting either unit, definitely get the plastic ones. You can sort of manipulate the wings so that they're more kind of straight up rather than being completely spread out like the metal ones. The metal ones can be very difficult to field on the table, especially when models start attacking them or they're trying to bunch up together to attack certain models, especially with gang. That can become a problem. With these, the plastic ones, not only do they go together very easily, they look good too. So, if you're going to, buy these, I would probably recommend the Banshees over the Raiders, just because of the different synergies, and we'll see here in a second with the solo why he helps the Banshees a little more than the Raiders, but the Raiders, they themselves are not a terrible unit at 6 points. with the solo that we've got coming, which we're going to take a look at now, which is the Grotesque Assassin. So Grotesque Assassin is a 2-point model, and it's an FA2, so you can take 2. They have the veteran, the commander leader, and they're a veteran leader for the Grotesques. I'll double check that real quick. Their leadership ability, sorry, not veteran leader. Veteran leader is a little different. But anyway, these guys have some really cool abilities. They have multiple attacks. They're speed 7, strength 7, mat 7, so they definitely hit more reliably. Rat 5, defense 14, a little bit higher. Armor 13, command 7, so a little bit more in the command range. The assassin blades that they have, they have fearless and they have stealth, which is really nice moving up the field because now they survive. And one thing I like honestly about the Grotesque Assassin is that you guys can take these as regular solos and they'll do phenomenal. They actually do really well. And they're cheap. They're 2 points, so it's good. They have 5 hit boxes. They have 3 attacks. They have 2 of their assassin blades, which are power strength 11, and they have a tail strike, which is power strength of 10. Now with their blades, they have the ability to do a combo strike, so it becomes a power 15 on, for example, on a charge, or if you want to give up your base attacks to do a kind of a combo strike with the swords. That's how you do it. So it's kind of nice. They have sprint, so when they do kill something, they can move away and make a full advance. Of course, they have flight, which helps them get over things. And they can give desperate pace to a unit. It's a star action, so you sort of have to do kind of a leapfrog effect with the assassin and the units. So he'll kind of move up, use it, and then the units will come in after him. So as a star action, remember, don't think you can use that and then charge him or run him or things like that, because it does take up your action to do. The other thing is that with the leadership ability of Grotesques, says while this model's command range, friendly Grotesque models gain stealth. So he gives stealth to the units that are within any model that's within these Grotesque units that are within 7 inches of him, which is really nice because them having stealth move to the board, especially for the Banshees, is amazing because now not only can you not shoot them within, unless you're closer than 5 inches away, if you miss and it's got a blast template, they don't suffer blast damage. So they can still suffer effects from templates that move, but they themselves don't suffer blast damage, which is really nice. So now, which the assassin helps your Banshees get into position. Basically, it gives you, make sure that you at least get one good turn of a chance to use these guys before, maybe they get wiped out or whatever. Because obviously once they start engaging, their defense 13 again. But yeah, but the assassin does great, and even with the Grotesque Raiders, giving them stealth moving up the field can be really good. Them having gang means, when they get into engage some things, they hit pretty reliably. Now, the different casters, obviously, that will want to take these guys, casters like Rias would really like the assassin. The Raiders become a viable unit with 6 points, 8 with including the assassin, which is really nice. So you can use the 8 points to get up the field, kind of get their extra hits and jumping and things like that, which is kind of nice. The Banshees, for example, will really like P. Lilith, because getting the extra dice on the feet turn for their sprays can be awesome, especially if you get in range to hit someone's caster and you hit them with the silencer effect. There's other casters too I know would really like them. Now, one thing is, I know Lilith doesn't necessarily, or Lilith 2 doesn't necessarily maybe want to use the Banshees that much, but if you can get pin cushion on something, they also benefit from the ranged attacks where they get the extra dice to hit and damage, and drop the lowest. So that makes them hit a lot more reliably and do more reliable damage. So that can be really nice too. So if you have any other models that can help give these guys things like Ashen Veil or Concealment, things like that, it really makes the Grotesques a lot more survivable. And those are the lists you're going to want to take these guys in. If you don't have anything that really offers any support to troops, you may not necessarily want to consider taking these guys. Now, again, like I said, the Assassin does help them get up the table, regardless of which, what caster you bring, but it's about making these guys useful once they actually get into combat is what you'll want to take a look at. So, but there, like I said, there are a number of casters out there that would probably want to take at least the Banshees, if not the Raiders. And again, my personal preference is towards the Banshees over the Raiders, but the Raiders, they themselves are not necessarily terrible models now with the Assassin. They actually can do some work, and I think you guys playing them will start to see a lot more people fielding these guys. And I have to say this about the Grotesques: they look really impressive on the field once you've got 1 or 2 units of them with the wings, things like that. They just look different than most everyone else's units. They don't. Most units don't have wings and things like that. So when people see them at first, they may not even know what they are or what they do. So you might do a little explaining, but at the same time, they provide a really cool effect. They look really good. So. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if you guys have tried playing any of these models yet. With your experiences, feel free to comment in the section below. Tell us how the Raiders have worked for you, how the Assassins work for you. I personally am really excited to use the Assassin, even as a solo piece. I think he'll do a really good job, and he'll be fun to play, especially given that you like to take a lot of casters that are very melee centric. So. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave in the comments below, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Counterslam.